Hi guys. Should we try and finish this then? Is that what we're saying? Let's get this done. What did these guys say? Lane oversees the repairs of one of the Cruise Bazaar's buildings. The old troll seems to be standing taller, barely needing the crutch. His face is as grim as always, but there's less wariness in his eyes than before. Wolf. Doing a little remodeling? Thought the place was a bit too airy. My old bones kept feeling a draft. Lane grins a tusky grin. We're shoring up the fortifications, such as they are. Lots of damage during the attack. Plus, they expose some holes in our defenses that we really ought to plug up, just in case. Expecting another attack? I figure you're going to go out after these people, but if you don't come back, we may get another visit. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. You just holler if there's anything I can help with. What's the mood around here? It varies from group to group and person to person. Some of the younger ones who weren't injured in the attack, they want to rally and take the fight to whoever deserves it. But there are plenty of others with the sense to wonder if the Cruise Bazaar is a safe place to live anymore. I admit, I've given that question some thought myself in recent days. You could make the place safe, Alexei. By building stronger walls, sure. Teaching people to be more vigilant, maybe. But I won't be party to violence. If that's what this place has become, well, if I'm here tomorrow, I'll keep doing what I can to help. And if I'm gone, well, you'll know why. You were a soldier once. What changed you? You mean, why'd I lose my taste for war, besides losing both legs and a lung? Well, I'll tell you, if only so it might teach you something about the world we live in. If you know about the First Euro War, then you likely know how it ended. The night wraiths. I didn't just lose my legs in a bombing, I lost them in the bombing. Whoever was behind those bombers, they weren't aiming for us or the Russians. They were aiming to end the war. They bombed everybody on both sides. I was commanding from the field, and my T-bird was caught up in the firestorm with all the rest. Not sure how I survived when so many others died, but when they pulled me from the wreck, I was only half the man I used to be, in more ways than one. Spent months recovering, with nothing to do but think on the futility of it all. So many men had died under my command. To hold that border, and for what? One day, a man in a little room orders a handful of planes to deliver their payloads. He watches feeds of bombs dropping and numbers falling. It's surgical, sterile, cold. And all the wars ever achieve is to rob a child of a father or mother, or parents of a son or daughter. That's why Arctic fox died out over there in the snow. Okay. Wolf, the savior of our people, what can I do for you? He's adjusting. She mentioned me. He doesn't want anything else. Well, alrighty then. Talk to me, Lucky Strike. Fuck you, Lucky Strike. Simi Kim seems as lost as ever, standing in the middle of the Cruise Bazaar, observing all the activity around her. To her credit, she has not retreated into one of her sims today. So much is happening. There's a lot of work to be done. And everyone is helping. Everyone is doing something. Do you want to help? I want to be strong. Strong people help, but I don't know what to do. I'm not good at anything. There are parents who lost children. Kim nods her head mournfully. And they will never forget, no matter how much they try. It's not right. These things should never happen. A parent should never bury a child. I never got to bury mine. I don't know if it would have been easier if I had. I'll talk to them, the ones who want to talk anyway. Some people around here don't think that well of me. But I'll still try. I have to try. What about your Sims? They'll be waiting for me, I guess. They're not real, you know. Not sure how I feel about them anymore. Maybe you don't need them now. What do you think? I don't know. I get anxious and it's just so easy to go inside, but I don't want to anymore. That's what's different. Okay, bye. I suspect this might be our last trip around the Cruise Bazaar. If we're now taking the fight to the dragon. That was crazy. One of these days you're going to have to demonstrate this powerful magic of yours. One of these days, my friend, absolutely. But today, you're here for a reason. Apparently I get an achievement for buying that. So, let's do it. She's got work to do. All that ever happens with him moving is I have to travel further and further away to talk to him. Salutations, youngster. I believe the Cruise Bazaar is still standing thanks to you. I've already said all this shit. I've got a question. Right, what was the plan? What did we do? Meet with the team. You enter the room to find your team preparing. Their faces are grim. Aga looks up and locks eyes with you. Without looking away, she addresses the rest of the team. With Apex down, we have our opening. The estate's automated defenses will be offline. Attacking the holdfast should be doable now. Still risky, but doable. Blitz stops what he's doing and shakes his head. Yeah, we'll have an opening, sure. But to do what? I mean, with everything we just learned, what's our new plan? She shrugs. We enter the estate, locate Vauclair, and shut him down. Same plan, different target. It's possible that Apex fabricated the comm feed. Vauclair might still be innocent. I doubt it. My gut tells me that what we saw was real, and second-guessing ourselves isn't going to get us anywhere. Fair point. Okay, so let's assume that Vauclair is the one who's behind all this. What's he doing in that lab? How does the dragon tie into this? I mean, this whole thing was always about rescuing the old man from the Firewing. Is she still in the picture at all? How has she ever been? After what Apex showed us, I don't even know what we're trying to stop anymore. All that I see is lots of dead bodies with no explanation why. It doesn't matter why Vauclair killed Monica and Paul and all of those other people in the Cruise Bazaar. All that matters is that he did. I'm going to bury him for that. You're welcome to help. I, for one, want answers. Amsel said there was a lot of money flowing into the Harfeld estate, and he found evidence that a bioweapon was being stockpiled there. Whatever Vauclair's doing, he had Apex kill his own brother to hide it. I intend to find out what that is. I'm with Glory. I want answers and we're going to go get them. There's a moment of silence as the group pauses to consider your words. Finally, Iga steps forward. All right, fearless leader. You go looking for your answers. I won't get in your way. And when the time comes to put a bullet in Vauclair's brain, I'll be there to make it happen. This is your show, Chief. Whatever you choose to do, I'll come along for the ride. We're going to find out what's happening at that holdfast, and then we're going to stop it. You lead, I'll follow, boss. Iga glances at you and cocks her head. Looks like the team's good to go. What's our next move? Now that we've got the keys to the castle, I say that we use them. Blitz offers you a half-hearted smirk. I've always wanted a castle. Iga raises a hand. Word of caution, Wolf. Our objective may be simple, but taking the same approach that we took last time would be a mistake. I'll defer to your judgment. What do you suggest? I've been reviewing the intel that Alice sent us and comparing it to what I gathered on our original run. There's been a substantial increase in the number of heat signatures on the ground. That means new security troops. Lots of them. Great. They know that we're coming. That just means that we'll be fighting a target-rich environment. Works for me. We'll want to get into the lab area as quickly as possible, so I'd suggest bypassing the main floor of the estate entirely. We can enter via the servants' entrance that you escaped through last time. Unfortunately, they've blocked off the route we use between the stables and the tree line. That means we're going to have to fight our way there. So we turn Vauclair's security team into a pile of corpses. Check. We'll still need to find the old man. The lab that Vauclair was talking about wasn't on the ground floor, so it's either in the basement or a sub-level. We go down and we scour every level until we find it. That might take a while. That facility could be massive. There were clearly a lot more to it than we saw. We've got no way of knowing how far underground the complex extends. We go in prepared for an extended search then. Iga looks down, checking her gear. Ammo won't be a problem. Okay people, it's go time. You got something to say? Speak up now. There's nothing to say. We'll do what we have to. Okay, that's it. Finish gearing up and head to the tunnel at the back of the safe house. I'll meet you where we stashed the van. None of them want to say anything to me? Alright team, let's go. Very clever for climbing a ladder, Dante. I'm proud of you. Boom, 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 boom. The van lurches forward. The smell of anxious sweat hangs close and thick inside, making the cramped vehicle feel even smaller. The streets of Berlin are strangely quiet as you make your way past the city limits. It's as if the whole of the Flux state is waiting for something, a calm before the storm. An hour later, the van rounds the corner. In the distance, you can see the silhouette of Harfeld Manor, backed by the light of the full moon. You switch the van's headlights off and shift to electric. A short while later, you kill the ignition and roll quietly down the last hill. Pulling to a stop on the side of the road, a bird of prey takes wing from a tree above you, beginning its nocturnal pursuit. You know how it feels. What was that rifle that I... Oh, it's one of these. You can't even fucking use it. What's your shotgun like? 18. Do I at least have a good shotgun for her? Enfield AS7. That's what she's already got. Alright, I'll give her a launcher, I guess. What do we got? 14 long, 1-3, 14. They're the same thing. It's 12 long, 6-3. Is that better or worse? I can fire a lot more before reloading, so probably better. Okay, let's go. Yes, I will happily spend some money on Once again, the grounds of the Harfeld Manor are silent, save for the faint whistling of the wind. But unlike last time, the air is rank with foreboding. The night is swollen with homicidal intent. They're waiting for you. Last chance before things get hot. Let's review the plan. Once we're in, we make our way across the grounds to the servants' entrance. We'll use the freight elevator to make our way down to the lab. With Apex down, the automated systems will be offline. We'll still have plenty of guards to deal with, though. You good to go? Let's make them pay, for Monica and for Paul. The team look to one another for confirmation. They all nod sharply. They're ready. Screen on the door's access panel flickers on and off, and a display flashing... Can I read? The screen on the door's access panel flickers off and on and displays a flashing error code. Error. Primary security offline. Excess doors are floodlights. Excess doors off floodlights. Please engage LTG, your designated air duct. Press open. The fuck does that mean? Pow-pow! Pow-pow! As much as they said don't explore, I want to explore. Oh. What is he doing? Good. One, two. You son of a biscuit. What do we have? 6 and 5. And 1. And you missed your fooly fool. Nice. Well done, team. Oh, it was for the kennels. I see. Courtyard key. Lovely. The panel controls the doors of the Hellhounds. Leave it alone. If there was any way for me to free you without you trying to kill me and therefore dying, I would do it. Error, error, error. Apex not found. Primary automated security systems offline. Scan key or enter override code. Oh, hello. Where are you guys going? You're running. Where are you running to? Nice. Nicely done, lady. Error, blah blah blah. Okay, that's just the other side of this. Whoops. Hey, I could use a hand. Nice. Missing was nice. Admittedly. Do you know what? Oh, where the fuck did they... They got the hell out of dodge if that's the end of the combat. Oh, hello. Oh. Nicely done, guys. I have absolutely no idea. Oh. Okay. 17 damage? Fuck off. Wait. Stop it! Okay. Wait, is his... No. Let's get you back up to snuff. And toss a fireball over there. In the meantime, you, young lady, come over here and start shooting. What do we got? We've got a rigger, we've got a mage. Fuck's sake. That's fair. That was fair. Balls. Come on, 1 health left. Fuck's sake, gargoyle. That was the wrong gun, sorry. Sorry guys. Four damage, for fuck's sake. Come on, D-Trick, buddy. I am very annoyed. I am extremely annoyed. I'm supremely annoyed. Four damage for that round. Well done. Right. 1 hit. 2 hits. and then retreat. Oh, there we go. Lovely. Is that the elevator I'm supposed to be getting to? Because if so, we have more exploring to do. This was probably a bad call on your part, old gargoyle, old chum. Right, what's this? Automated security offline, manual door locks engaged. Looks like they know they can't depend on Apex to be their watchdog anymore. Someone's manually locked the door. Okay, yeah, so this is the way to go. Hey! The shit was that? Right, can we stop running past all of these little bastards? Seriously. Minus 1 AP per round. That's annoying. Right, who needs a heal? You do. Just you. Missed at 99%. Arg! Right, you're not going to do it, are you? But we can give it a go, can't we? Doopy doop boop boo. Screen on the elevator control display randomly flickers characters and error messages. Primary security is a late evacuation lab access level. Primary security is a late evacuation lab access level. Please contact 466 auxiliary air ducts for your noticed primary turret control. Okay, yeah, so the messages are just fucking up, aren't they? Unlock. After making your way across the manor grounds, you find the servants' entrance open and the immediate interior clear of any resistance. You find the elevator that you used during your prior escape waiting patiently, for your arrival. It shudders to life now, ready to carry you down into the facility below, to the place where Monica met Apex and the world turned upside down. This is where the whole thing began. Holy moly. Hello. They're inside the lab, calling for backup. The whole security network's down. Take cover. Hey! You two can fucking come back right now. I can't see any of them, no? They definitely came this way. What have we got? Security, security. Ah, you were so close. Oh. He exploded like so much slag. That was annoying. That was annoying. Right, come on, Dietrich. I have faith in you. Misplaced, obviously. Perfect. Acquired lab keycard. As you stoop to pick up the guard's keycard, something catches your eye. Hi Diggs, good to see you, buddy. How are you? Flash of light. Sweeping your gaze across the room, you see a variety of terminals, all displaying flickering error messages. Whatever security Apex provided here, it's offline now, leaving the machines unlocked and unprotected. Probably won't stay quiet in here for long. We should keep moving. Not just yet. There could be valuable intel in here, and we don't even know how big this facility is. We should sweep the area for clues before pushing forward. Alright, fine. We'll search the room, but let's do it quickly, yeah? I don't want to get stuck in here again. Yes, this is The room that we started the game in, pretty much, isn't it? I remember. Although the access port has been replaced, black scorch marks still mar the surface of the matrix access panel. This is where Monica jacked in, where she met Apex. Is this where it happened? Yeah, this is where she died. She stares at the scorch marks that blacken the access panel. Poor Monica. I still can't believe that she's gone. Right, we have a terminal. The screen on the terminal flickers off and on and displays a flashing error code. Primary security offline. Error. Access doors are floodlights. Please engage LTG, your designated air duct. Admin access granted. Press any key to continue. You press a key at random and the screen begins to flash. A piezoelectric beeper buried somewhere deep inside of the terminal plays a series of chirps and the system reboots itself. Then, when the screen comes alive again, it's filled with text. Welcome, Administrator. Please select from the following options. Hyperthermophile studies. The information in this entry is impossibly dense. It would take you a week and a stack of scientific journals to fully decipher. It appears that the lab has been experimenting with hyperthermophilic organisms, animals that thrive in temperatures high enough to kill most other organisms. From what you can tell, the lab has been attempting to isolate the genes that make survival in such extreme conditions possible. Most of the research is devoted to marine invertebrates that live in ecosystems surrounding hydrothermal vents. More recently, the lab has taken to experimenting on salamanders, awakened creatures that live in fire-based environments. These studies showed more promise, but have been postponed due to the difficulty in keeping the salamanders alive in captivity. The entry is missing a conclusion, so it's anyone's guess as to whether the studies proved successful or not. Artificial lymphocytes and monoclonal antibody production. This entry covers the development of non-traditional techniques to encourage the production of monoclonal antibody cells. The research they're doing here focuses on mass-producing the cells by way of artificial, genetically identical lymphocytes that would act as factories for the proteins. The lymphocyte cells that have been produced here are robust and self-replicating. They have proven viable in a wide variety of test animals. What any of this has to do with the Panacea project is not addressed. Hermetic techniques for slowing radioactive decay. This entry is overflowing with complicated magical figures. It would take a skilled mage to decipher it. I am a skilled mage! Deciphering the arcane sigils that fill the page is child's play. It looks as though the Hermetic theoreticians here have been working to develop a metamagical method of dealing with radiation. According to what you can see, the project was successful. Using this technique, isotopes of radium-224 were magically stabilized for over a month. During this period, the isotopes did not decay and emitted no harmful radiation. The typical radioactive half-life of radium-224 is just over 3 days. There's no data to hint at what the ultimate goal of the project might be, but the potential applications for a technique like this are almost limitless. And Panacea, recent development notes. Surprisingly, this entry is relatively easy to read. Skimming it over, you discover that the scientists here have been working on a variety of additional tweaks to a project called Panacea. Apparently, a batch of artificial lymphocytes developed for the project have recently been bound with an airborne RNA virus. The resulting microorganism is as infectious as the flu and exhibits a broadband capability to jump species barriers. The notes also discuss the bioagent Doom and the resident scientists' efforts to deconstruct it. It appears as though they were attempting to improve upon the formula in some way. There's a moment of silence as the group absorbs everything you've just read. I don't like the look of this, Wolf. I don't like it at all. There isn't enough information here to know what this Panacea is, but I can take a guess. I'm all ears, boss. Lay it on us. I think that Panacea is a sort of delivery system for Doom. It's a virus, airborne and highly infectious, and it can produce Doom antibodies on command, but the radioactive payload that they carry is stable somehow, dormant. The magical research ties it all together. I don't think that any of this would work at all if magic weren't involved. What all of this tells me is that we need to shut Vauclair down. Whatever mad scientist bullshit he's planning on pulling with this stuff, it isn't going to be good for us. Agreed. Let's keep moving. We need to put a stop to this. A message flashes onto the status panel as you approach. Lab Security Central Control. Offline keycard required. I have one. Error. Apex Control Entity offline. That's good. I wonder if they would be friendly to us if we saved Apex. Well done. Now that was a good shot. I'll give you that. You son of a biscuit. Are you serious? I believe that will do quite nicely. What's your problem with him? Take that, you little bastard. What have we got? Locked safe. It's locked. It's locked. Security terminal. Leave the terminal alone. I ain't got a jacker to jack in. Terminal shows a nearly featureless login screen. Hacking accounts. You find a selection of email files from various staff members. Email 1. Nairi. I know you need to pass through multiple checkpoints to get outside for your smoke break, but that's no reason to break protocol and smoke in the lab. The material that we're working with is dangerous, and your laziness is putting people at risk. Please don't let it happen again, Lily. Dearest Talia, please stop asking me where my work has taken me. You know I can't tell you. I made it clear when we parted at the train station last year. Security on this project is very tight, and all of our outgoing email is being scanned. Although we've been quite busy recently, I believe we're nearing a breaking point, and I can come home to you and Felix soon. All my love, Lily. Klaus. Again, excellent work on the venting system. Everyone is very pleased with your performance. It seems like only yesterday that you were one of my interns, and here you are, a newly appointed department head. Beyond everything that I told you earlier, you also have access to the guard's storeroom in your section. Use access code 1247 in case of an emergency. That's for level 4 personnel and above though, so keep it to yourself. Huh. 1247, is that for this safe? It is not. Hello. I knew that would miss. I knew it. But that's alright. He had to die, so I'm okay with what happened there. Nice. Alright, lady. Can you hit? Yay. Fuck it, let's go again. Right, what's the plan, Stan? What are you? A mage? Why are you in heavy cover there? That was incredibly annoying. That wasn't supposed to happen. Unbalanced by the nerve bolt. This is good. Gee whiz. That's it, girl. Good. So what's in here? Terminal. Press a key. Welcome, administrator. We need to organize an all-staff meeting to discuss lab safety. Everyone is overworked and overstressed, and that's a perfect recipe for workplace accidents. I'm telling you, we cannot afford any more accidents. The loss of Van Wyck has been hard on everyone. He was well liked, and watching him die in such a horrible fashion has been hard on morale. The staff is still committed to the cause. They all know what they signed up for, and they know how important this is. But losing such a good man because of such basic lapses in lab safety has been a difficult pill to swallow. I am writing this to request additional security for the animal testing lab. You know how large and vicious these creatures can be. Without more trained handlers on staff, we're just begging for another accident. You remember what happened to Van Wyck. I'd also like to repeat my request that the animals be defanged, declawed and muzzled, preferably someplace away from the lab. Our having to use them is unavoidable due to their genetic similarity to our targets, but that doesn't mean we can't take precautions. I just wanted to thank you for pushing to bring the new Hermetic lab online. It's good to know that you're listening to our requests. The research that the Hermetic researchers have been doing should make our work with the Panacea much more manageable. Interesting. So that leads to here. We ran up through there, so we have a panel there that we can interact with. Enter storage, entry code, use the keypad. Oh, is this, was this maybe? 1247. Override accepted. Wonderful. What do we got? Nice. Hey. I'm guessing the only way to get into that lock safe is by jacking in. And I hate jacking in this game. I hate decking. I find it very, very boring. Some more offline turrets, I guess? Wait, how do we get in there? There's a large crack that runs straight through this section of the wall. Then do something about it, please. Couple of doors. Which one do you go through? Hello. Wounded 12, wounded 2. Come on. My God. That's a lot of boys. Let's head back in here. All right. Right. We've got security, mage, merc, security. I think the mages... Let's start taking down. Right then. Not too sure how you're considered a medium cover, but since you don't appear to be, we will kill you. How does that sound? Okay, you're doing good, boys. He's now fast asleep. good. For fuck and sake, I think, are things that I can keep saying. Is there anyone left? Can I, like, come over here and throw a grenade? Nope. That was worth a try though, wasn't it? What happens if I come over here? There's a large crack in the wall. Okay. Alright, let's just go, I guess. Who's wounded? Dear Trickers. Oh, there's still someone left, for fuck's sake. I was wondering why why combat hadn't stopped. Alright, let's go. Panacea. The sounds of machinery fade behind you as you venture further underground. Whoever built this facility was clearly well financed. It must have taken years to design, excavate, and build a complex like this in secrecy. You continue through dimly lit halls, finally stepping into what appears to be another laboratory area. The corridor before you is deserted. Dr. Adrian Vauclair is somewhere within this facility, and with him, the answers you seek. The old man behind the glass works feverishly at his console, glancing up at you when he can. A cigarette dangles from his mouth, the bluish smoke curling around his head. An overflowing ashtray sits on the lab table in front of him. The years have not been kind, but his features are instantly recognizable. Despite his age, he still has the strong chin and high cheekbones that you remember from Green Winters' DVD. This is Dr. Adrian Vauclair. As you approach, he stops what he's doing, a look of intense irritation on his face. He clears his throat, and a harsh, rasping sound emerges from the loudspeaker next to the glass. So you're the Shadowrunners that Audrum warned me about. I assume you've left a trail of corpses in your wake? Oh, is Audrum around? I've got a message from him, from Paul Amsel. If you wish to speak to my security captain, that can be arranged. He reaches down, flips a switch. You hear a loud thud and a click behind you as the door locks shut. You'll find that the blast door behind you is sealed, and the laboratory you occupy is fully secured. An important precaution, we keep our test subjects in there, and they are far more dangerous than you. He takes a drag on his cigarette. I won't permit you to cause any further harm, Shadowrunner. You will remain trapped where you are for your own good. Break the glass. The hell I will. You launch yourself at the window, your shoulder slamming into the hard surface with a heavy thud. Despite your best efforts, the window doesn't budge. The window between us is made of die-coat-treated transplast. Do whatever you like. You'll find that it's quite unbreakable. The bastard's right. Nothing we're carrying can even scratch die-coat. That glass is essentially sheathed in diamond. We need military-grade explosives to crack it. She frowns. We're stuck in here. Now, I want to know why in hell you've so violently interjected yourself into my business. First you break into my estate, which you didn't even know was mine, apparently. Then you spent what must have been a small fortune to track me down. You locate my AI, destroy it, then drive all the way to the countryside, and finally, you shoot your way into my laboratory. He leans forward, hands on his table, his eyes narrowed into a piercing stare. So I have to ask you, Shadowrunner, who are you, and why in God's name are you here? We came to find you, Vauclair, to help us stop Furshwing. Except the Firewing wasn't the one after us after all. It was you all along, wasn't it? Vauclair sighs, covers his face with his pale, nicotine-stained hands. To help you stop Furshwing. That is ironic. But yes, you are correct. I'm the one who has been hunting you. The one who sent Apex and Audryn after you. You're going to pay for that, you bastard. Why attack the Cruise Bazaar, Vauclair? Why kill Paul Amsel? It was necessary to preserve the secrecy of my work, for the greater good of all. I know I've wronged you, and for this I'm sorry. He sighs a long, rattling sigh that quickly turns into a violent fit of coughing. The sound echoes over the loudspeaker. He collects himself, continues. I don't expect you to understand, nor do I have time to explain it to you. He straightens, glances back at the screen to his side, and nods curtly. Now, I must know. How did you learn that I was still alive? How did you even know to look for me? Did someone send you? What shall I say? There was an antiquated DVD storage device, a bunch of talk about the Dragonfall. Oh, and the bloody corpse of a guy named Green Winters. Maybe you knew him. Vauclair starts, and the sudden movement of his arm sends his overflowing ashtray flying from the table in a cloud of ash. A look of dread fills his face. Bloody corpse? What do you mean? Where's Hermie? Explain yourself. Oh, you mean you didn't know? You killed him too, just like Paul and Monica. He slumps into the chair next to him, his whole body shaking. I didn't. He's suddenly overcome by another fit of coughing. He steadies himself on one arm of the chair. Apex, he clutches his chest. I should have never trusted that thing. He closes his eyes, and a tear traces its way down the gaunt hollow of his cheek. Oh, Hermie, the things I've sacrificed, all for this, all for Panacea, all for tonight. Panacea, your modified virus. What's tonight, Doctor? What are you planning with Panacea? He looks up dazed, his eyes unfocused. Yes, you know about it then. Panacea is my life's work, a permanent solution to an age-old problem. It will mean the end of the dragons, not just Furshwing, all dragons. Let me get this straight. You had a bad experience with one dragon, so now you're going to wipe out an entire species. Vauclair fumbles in his pockets, produces a fresh cigarette. He lights it with shaking hands and breathes in deeply. The orange glow of the cigarette flares bright. When he exhales, the words spill out with the smoke. The Firewing burned and murdered and caused untold damage in her bestial rage. until the Dragonfall, until I stopped her. But that destruction is merely a symptom of a greater cancer. Fjörsving wrought destruction and with fire and claw. The dragons of today, Lofwyr, Dunkelzar, Kaladir, they kill and conquer with subtler tools, deception, manipulation, corruption. He spits with disgust. They use us as pawns, playing pieces, puppets in their millennia-long machinations. Oh yes, dragons are a cancer, one that will conquer, or worse, destroy all of humanity if we do not stop it. One that metastasized when the world awakened. An ironic metaphor, since it was the failing of my own body that allowed me to see it. Let me guess, you have cancer. Late stage 2 if I had to guess, I'd say leukemia. He's racked again by violent coughing, allows it to subside, takes another long drag on his cigarette, the ash creeping closer to the edge of his mouth. Your friend is correct, I suffer from cancer of the blood, brought on by the radiation of the SOX, no doubt. It was when I heard my doctor's diagnosis that I realized what I had to do, what my life's work would be in the time that I had left. I'm sorry, Hermie. I'm sorry you won't be able to see it for yourself. I'm sorry I failed you. Beauclair turns his attention back to the computer. Stubbing out his cigarette, he grabs a fresh one from the pack and lights it. Tonight I will release my panacea to the world. And how absurd that the instrument of Dragonkind's destruction. He presses a button on the terminal, and a large observation window at the far end of the room rises slowly open. Will be carried by Fjörsving herself. Holy fuck, that's a real dragon! Through the glass, you see the prostrate form of a dragon far below. An enormous set of shackles binds it, and a maze of tubes snakes into its body. The tubes connect to a cruel-looking apparatus that's been mounted to the wall. Son of a bitch, look at that. You found her alive in the SOX after all. Tonight, the Firewing will fly again. Infected with Panacea, she will slowly be destroyed from within, but before that happens, she will provide the catalyst for global transmission of the virus. Catalyst? What catalyst? As if spurred on by the sight of the dragon below, he begins typing furiously at his terminal. Fjörsving's fire will carry the agent in its dormant state. Any metahumans exposed will become carriers, will spread the disease to other dragons. The carriers will be infected with Panacea as well, but it will not harm them. To non-dragons, it's a nuisance, nothing more. When a critical mass of carriers is achieved, my Panacea will become unstoppable. It will spread across the globe in a relentless tide. However, if it does not reach this critical mass, it will fizzle, die out, become inert. Hence, the need for a ground zero, a flashpoint for a mass infection event. He looks at the ceiling, mumbling to himself. I'm sorry, Hermie. I know how you loved your flux state, but that doesn't matter now. It must be Berlin. Hang on. You're going to sick the Firewing on Berlin? He continues his work filled with a feverish energy. To save the world, yes. For Panacea to work, Berlin must burn. A sacrifice, one for the greater good. Fjörsving will breathe her infected fire upon Berlin. Thousands will die. And through that destruction the virus will take to the air. A critical mass of Berlin's metahuman population will be exposed, but no one will even think to quarantine the city until it's too late. The flux state lacks any centralized authority. Corporations will evacuate their own. Thousands will flee the city, infected. He mutters, his voice growing more detached. Oh yes, Hermie. Berlin is the perfect flashpoint. It wasn't supposed to happen tonight, no. But this little intervention of yours leaves us no choice, so let us see. He squints at his screen. Tonight's wind pattern dictates the ground zero to be Tempelhof-Schönenberg. Highly populated, the virus will spread quickly enough from there. That's only a few kilometers from the cruise bazaar. Don't do it, Beauclair. I swear I will make you hurt if you do, and I'll make it last. Beauclair sighs, shuts his eyes, and brings a shaking hand to his temple. We all know that's not going to happen. You are trapped here, impotent to stop this from happening, and it will happen. I'm gonna just go grab a drink. Be right back, guys. Hey, hey, hey. He's back. He's back. The old man eyes the cigarette butt in his hand, fishes out another from the pack, and lights it with the first. Then he reaches to his console, reaching to the side for a microphone. He mutters something into the receiver. You can just barely make out the sound of the name Audrun. When he turns to address you again, his voice is level. The shaking in his hand seems to have subsided. Security will be here soon, and they will take care of you. Do not worry, you will not be harmed. The sacrifice that I'm making tonight is a necessary evil. It cannot be helped, but so long as you remain confined, I see no reason to kill you too. You don't burn a city and call it a sacrifice. You call it what it is, mass murder. Beauclair stiffens, turning to face you. Anger washes across his face. Was it mass murder when America dropped the atomic bomb on Japan? The myopic would say yes, just as you are now, but they did it for a cause, to shorten the agony of the war, to save the lives of thousands upon thousands of soldiers. The old man is trembling now. I do the same for the good of the world. I'm not buying it, Doc. Ending a war and exterminating an entire intelligent species are two very different things. Don't be so self-righteous. We drive new species to extinction every single year on this planet. Dragons, at least, we have cause to destroy. Humanity was born to reproduce, to multiply, but dragons were born to acquire, to accumulate, to hoard. Both strive to bend the world to their will. Humanity has conquered the air, land, and sea through sheer numbers. Dragons, however, employ different means altogether. Throughout history, they have allowed us to do the heavy lifting while they pull the strings. There are 17 great dragons in the world today, 17 ancient worms, millennia old, slowly dividing the planet into 17 piles of gold to nest upon, in front of our eyes. Once upon a time, they burned castles to steal the treasure we collected, laid waste to entire armies. But here in the sixth world, it's no longer about tooth and claw and fiery breath. The old man's voice seethes with hatred. Now it's public relation, marketing, mergers and acquisitions. You see it every day. Dragons on the Tridio. In the boardrooms, they gather influence, wealth, power. Continually hoarding until one of them sits atop it all. Perhaps not in this cycle of the world, perhaps not in the next, but one day, one worm will stand alone, triumphant, with all of humanity as its cattle, with all the world as its prize, and that, he trembles, his voice dropping to a whisper, that I will not allow. How are you going to get Fürschwing to go along with this plan of yours? Beauclair continues his work. Oh, that's simple enough. He gestures to his left. She has no choice. The gaunt woman in the containment cell stands rigidly, her face pressed against the glass, her haunted yellow eyes tracking your every move. She appears frightened, disoriented, lost. Her mouth moves silently, her voice muted by her glass cage. So, the stories Green Winters found were true. Fürschwing's astral form was separated from her body when she fell. You trapped it somehow. Yes, but that came later. In 2012, we took down Fürschwing with an experimental weapon. This device, suffice to say, I couldn't fully predict how it would affect her. In 2036, I led a search team into the SOX. I had to know what had really happened to the creature I had slain. We found her alive in a way. The dragon's astral form, her spirit you might say, had been ripped from her body by the weapon. It was trapped inside a young woman living in the SOX. A mob of glowpunks revered her, treated her like a goddess. I transported the young woman and the dragon's body here, where I could study them. You mean that she's been in that cell for almost 20 years? The old man nods absently. No choice. A creature separated from its astral form cannot live more than a few hours before both die. It was the high-intensity radiation of the SOX combined with the magical creature inside her that allowed the woman to live for as long as she has. So, Beauclair seems almost eager to explain. The environment within her containment chamber mirrors that of the SOX. It has allowed us to keep Fürschwing alive all these years, while her bestial shell remains chained up below. Now, as for her physical form, that will be simple as well. We've drilled a series of electrical charges directly into her skull. When we release the Firewing's body, empty of her astral self, we will trigger all of the vicious instincts and primal urges left in her reptile brain. She will unleash her fire when we command it. That's horrific, even for a mass-murdering dragon. He shakes his head. Misplaced empathy. The beast blazed a path of fiery destruction across Germany. But no matter. I have more important things to do than to debate the morality of this with you. Feuerswing must fly, Berlin must be sacrificed, and it must be tonight. Now where's that damn Audrun? What if this virus mutates into a strain that can kill us too? An intelligent question from a Shadowrunner? Surprising. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to explain it to you in detail, and since you are locked in that laboratory with no chance of escape, I don't really need to. But understand this, I am an expert in my field. That is not an idle boast. It's a certifiable fact, and I have worked with nearly unlimited resources for over 40 years, focused on one goal. One. 42 years of isolation, of secrecy, dead to the world, dead to my brother, all for this, my life's mission. It will work. He looks down. I promise you, Hermie, it will work. Your panacea is built on the back of an RNA virus, and yet you aren't worried about the possibility of a mutation? It had to be an RNA virus, no choice in the matter. If panacea is to work, it must be robust, untreatable. A DNA virus wouldn't fit that bill. You aren't listening, Doc. He's right. RNA polymerases are notoriously prone to replication errors. Any first-year biology student could tell you that. You have no way of knowing how your panacea will mutate once you let it go. You're playing with fire in every imaginable way. I am not a first-year biology student. I am at the forefront of my field, and I have told you it will work. I've spent decades on this, studying it, proving its effectiveness. Another spasm racks his chest. He leans against the desk, grasping for breath. You will respect that. Because I said so doesn't cut it, Doc. Not when the stakes are this high. What Wolf is saying makes sense, and you know it. You may be crazy, but you ain't stupid. I really wish I'd taken academic. There seems to be a lot of options that I keep missing. However sure you are that your panacea works, you can't risk releasing it, Vauclair. There's too much at stake. He laughs softly. You're exactly right, Shadowrunner. There is too much at stake. Too much at stake not to act. He takes another drag. After all, science has always attracted its share of doomsayers. During the development of the atomic bomb, Compton and Oppenheimer expressed concerns that a fission explosion could ignite the Earth's atmosphere. Fermi even took bets on it. The group's research later indicated that the ultimate catastrophe was unlikely, so they continued forward. He takes a long drag on his cigarette. Yes, I will show the same resolve that those great minds did. I will not be deterred. This plan of yours killed your brother. Was it really worth it? Vauclair's fist slams into the table, sending his cigarette flying in a cascade of sparks and ash. No, nothing can make that right. Nothing. He runs a hand through his unkempt hair, blinking through a haze of sudden tears. Damn it, Hermie. Why couldn't you just let me go? Listen to reason, Vauclair. Would Hermie want you to do this? You did not know my brother, Shadowrunner. Do not presume to speak to me on his behalf. Hermie would support me in this if he knew what I know now. I've watched hours of your brother's video footage, Vauclair. I probably know him better than anyone alive, excepting yourself. His face twists into an ugly sneer. You've watched footage, and that makes you think that you know the man. You know nothing. I know that he wanted you to stop all of this years ago. He begged you to, and you promised him that you'd try. Vauclair falls silent, a wisp of smoke tracing its way from the tip of his cigarette to the ceiling. He's right, Vauclair. Your brother was a miserable bastard, but he did die trying to save you. If you don't turn back from this, his death will have meant nothing. Nothing at all. That's enough. Hermie's death was a tragedy. I will not let you use it to manipulate me. Vauclair straightens. It looks like you've touched a nerve. His entire body is trembling with fury. He takes a deep breath to calm himself. There are worse things out there than dragons, Vauclair. Exterminating one threat could open the door to another. He grinds his teeth in exasperation. Another pearl of wisdom from the Shadowrunner. The great dragons represent an incalculable threat to our survival as a species. To spare them for fear of some unknown nebulous danger would be absurd. Besides which, there's nothing that is worse than a dragon. I'm in a position to know. You're wrong. An astral entity told me about things that exist out on the metaplanes, horrifying things that we can't even hope to comprehend. He lets out a startled chuckle. What does that matter? Even if your spirit stories are true, the dragons are what threatens us now. Come on, Doc. Think past your vendetta for a second. What if exterminating the dragons changes the landscape in a way that we can't predict? Then we will handle the situation as it arises. And what if we can't? Once you've driven the dragons extinct, you can't unkill them. What you're really proposing to do is irrevocably change the ecosystem of our world, and you don't know what might happen as a result. I will not just sit back and let them take over the world. I must act. I will act. You may be right, Vauclair, but this isn't the answer. Vauclair glares silently through the glass. Even if you succeed at this, eliminating dragons will create a dangerous power vacuum. He laughs. A pointless argument. Any power vacuum created through Dragonkind's extermination will be filled by meta-humanity. Any backlash will right itself over time. I am playing the long game, Shadowrunner, one that has played out over thousands of years. When you think on that scale, everything seems possible. Humanity will endure, and the dragons will perish. Look, you're not infallible, Doc. You've already made mistakes here, and people died as a result. Vauclair looks amused. Mistakes? He uses the tip of his cigarette to gesture at the glass. So says the career criminal trapped in the containment room. I've read some of your inter-office communications. There have been a number of deaths over the years, haven't there? He pauses. We've suffered losses, yes. They were tragic, but the people here accepted that there would be risks. They made their own choices. I won't take the blame for that. I get that they made their own decisions, but from what I was reading, it sounds like those people died from your negligence. Basic lapses in lab safety, it said. He glares at you through the glass. Is there some point you're trying to make, or are you just trying to anger me? My point is that everyone makes mistakes, even you, and yet you want to roll the dice with a biological weapon. It will work, I'm telling you. Bet you told your researchers that the lab would be safe too. Look how that turned out. The muscles in the corners of his mouth tighten. Why am I even talking to you? You're trapped in there, and I've still got work to do. Audrey will be here for you soon enough. The old man turns away from you, studying some invisible detail on the console. He looks irritated and tired. If Hermie were here with us right now, listening to this conversation, he'd tell you to stop this. Deny it if you want, but you know that it's true. He slams his fist down against the glass, his face contorted into a mask of rage and grief. How dare you presume to speak for my brother? To hell with letting you live. If you're going to have front and center seats for, Schwing's return, I will see to it myself. You're what, Doc? For a long moment, Vauclair stares at her, unmoving. Finally, his eyes flit to the ground. I'm not... If Hermie were here... Oh, God. The old man continues to stare at his feet. The blood is drained from his cheeks, leaving them sickly pale. If Hermie were here, he would not support this. He would point out the risks, the unknowns, the sacrifices, much as he always had before he... Vauclair's jaw clenches. The muscles of his throat tighten as he forces himself to swallow. He would try to stop me. You still have a chance to give him what he wanted. You can put a stop to this before more people get killed. Vauclair remains silent for some time. Finally, the old man begins to speak. He sounds hollowed out, gutted. For over 40 years, I ignored the rest of the world. I ignored the media and the military, the board of directors at Deal, and my little brother. No, especially my little brother. I wouldn't listen to them because I knew that I was right. I knew what had to be done. What they were all blind to. I was Hermie's big brother, and I was the great and celebrated Dragon Slayer. I knew better. He makes a sweeping gesture, a look of contempt on his face. You see this lab? The complex you're standing in? The plan that it was built to serve? I sacrificed everything for this. My job, my health, my family. I was prepared to sacrifice Berlin, to feed those people to the same fires that I spent my youth trying to extinguish. And all the while, Hermie was trying to tell me that I wasn't right, and that I refused to listen. My refusal killed him, my little brother. The person I loved most in the world. He covered his face with a withered hand. If only I had heard him, none of this would have happened. I'll be damned, I think you've talked him out of it. The old man lets out a heavy sigh, his entire body trembling. When he recovers, he looks almost like a different man, tired and frail, defeated. My cure, the panacea, it isn't ready. I was ready to turn a blind eye to the flaws and deploy it anyway, but my eyes are open now, and I do not like what I see. I cannot change what's been done. I can't bring Hermie back, but I can put a stop to this. I can finally listen to what he was always trying to tell me, to what I would never hear him say, and so I shall. I know this is a hard decision, Vauclair, but it's the right one. He stares at his trembling hands, a sad smile on his face. More than 4 decades of planning, all undone in the span of a single conversation. My brother's words delivered through the mouth of a criminal. I finally listened, Hermie, 42 years too late. Through the speakers, you can hear the sound of heavy footsteps approaching. Audrin. Vauclair looks up at the orc, his voice trembles slightly. There's been a change of plans. No time for that, Doc. We're waking up the dragon's physical form right now. Everything is ready for the procedure to begin. You should see to it. There will be no procedure, Audrin. The orc pauses. You're going to have to repeat that. The plan, my plan, is flawed. Fatally so. The dragon will not fly tonight. Audrin stops in his tracks. He stares at Vauclair, unblinking. This must come as a shock to you. I'm sorry for that. Your belief in our cause was second only to my own. The orc goes on staring at the old man for a long time, then something in his face changes. If that's the way you feel, it's been an honor, Doctor. Vauclair smiles weakly. The honor has been my... Well, kind of saw that coming the moment he walked through the door, honestly. The scarred orc stares at you through the glass as Vauclair's body cools at his feet. His eyes are brimming with hate. You shouldn't have made me do that, asshole. The doc was like family to me. I didn't make you do anything. You murdered him. He was going to put a stop to it. The plan. You think I just stand by and let that happen? He was stopping it because it won't work. It will. The dragons will die. I've seen what Panacea can do. The doc showed me tissue samples. It melted them. The dragons will die, yes, but there's no telling what else might happen. Unleashing that shit could have deadly consequences for all of us. And... Oh, you son of a bitch. Look who's talking. For all of his faults, Vauclair was a hero, and now he's dead, and it's your fault. So you want this to happen? You're willing to kill everyone, including yourself, for it. What I want is change. This world is sick. Anyone with half a brain can see that. So I'm going to use the doc's wonder bug to poison it back to health. It might get better, or it might die. Either would be better than let it languishing it like this. And if I die, well, so what? You think that my life has been a bundle of laughs? I'll happily trade mine to make a different world. So you want to change the world, but you don't care what it changes into. That's insane, Audrin. Yeah, maybe, but it'll be interesting, and I'll be the cause of it. Not a dragon, not a megacorp, me. All by myself, changing the world. Speaking of changes, your life is about to get a lot more exciting. Did the doc tell you that you're standing in an animal research lab? It's overflowing with test subjects, and they don't play well with others. Nasty, dangerous things, and it's well past their feeding time. He punches a button, and from the corner of the room you hear a hissing sound. Pneumatic locks sliding open. And now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a dragon to wake up. If you're still alive when I get back, I'll put a bullet in you. If you're lucky, I might even put it in your head, quick and clean, like your pal Amsel. He pauses for a moment, considering. You probably shouldn't count on that, though. What an asshole. Hello, giant dragon. 80%. Okay, 70%. Well done. It was worth a shot. She went, ugh, but it didn't hurt her. That's ideal, isn't it? Fire Drake. Fire Drake. They're the same thing. I think they are. Good. I am enjoying those crits. Make her more accurate. Nice. Where do we think any more are going to come from? Over there, maybe? It was indeed over there. Oh, you are so fucking close. That's your own fault. You're shit, and I hate you. Right, everyone get out of the fucking fire. How is the line of sight blocked? It's like a straight line. No one's actually that wounded. Right, book it. Put it to sleep. And probably come over here. Is that it? Right, what else we got around here? Do any of these chambers have anything interesting? Probably not. There's a big ass dragon in there. Right. The gaunt woman paws at the glass at your approach. Her haunted yellow eyes track your movement. When you activate the intercom, a green light activates inside the containment cell, and she flinches up at it, startled. So you're an ancient dragon, huh? A small voice whispers through lips that barely move. It sounds hoarse and awkward, like a rusty lock. Help. Please help. How do I get you out of this room, Fürschwing? I know a way to free yourself. Then you help me. A deal. A deal if you agree to free me. Let's think this through, Wolf. Be careful. Tell you what. You help me out of here, and I'll see what I can do. The strange woman nods enthusiastically. I will help you, grant you release, and you will repay me in kind. Yes, yes, you can escape from this room. There is a panel in the floor. There is... You can drop down, find your way into the guts of this place. There by my body is the machine. Break it, break it, break it. Switch off the intercom and walk away. Into the dark. You squeeze through the narrow gap beneath the floor panels and climb down into a large space beneath the lab complex. Darkness surrounds you, and the air smells moldy and stale. As your eyes slowly adjust to the light, you can make out the dim plains of cobweb-covered walls and scattered construction equipment. Judging by the dust and disrepair, this place appears to have been abandoned long ago. Meanwhile, somewhere else, beneath the Harfeld Manor, Paul Amsor's killer is preparing to wake a dragon and unleash it on an unsuspecting Berlin. Compared to the lab above, this room is almost impossibly quiet. A small amount of light filters in from the narrow passage above you. There appears to be light fixtures mounted on the walls, but there's no sign of a light switch. Where the hell are we, boss? It looks abandoned. I think this place is military. Judging by our depth and the markings, I'm guessing it's an abandoned missile base. That would explain why the late Dr. Vauclair chose this place for his operation. Can't be easy to find a secret underground base big enough to house a dragon. Let's move. I owe Audryn a bullet between the eyes, and I mean to pay up. We've got no choice. If we don't stop Audryn from releasing that dragon, everyone in the Cruise Bazaar's dead. Yeah, true that. True that. It appears to be a pile of crumbling paper, but it's too dark to read them. There's a small sealed plastic can of regular gasoline. I'll take it. This is a small portable gas generator with a standard pull cord. It has cables running from it to the large diesel tank sitting next to it. The fuel gauge reads empty. The entire container of gas easily pours into the tank. The little generator chugs to life. This is a large diesel generator with an electric starter. The fuel tank reads empty and its readouts are lit and appear to be functional. Nothing happens. What in the fuck are you? Scorpirine? Fuck you, Scorpirine. More fuel. Add the diesel fuel. With a hollow splash, the contents of the fuel container are emptied. The fuel tank reads 3%. With a shudder and a plume of black smoke, the generator comes to life. Take a closer look at the papers. At the lightest touch, the paper crumbles to dust. You can make out one small scrap that still contains legible writing. Look, York. I don't care what you heard down there. Just because you heard something and a few people got sick from some weird disease doesn't mean that there are monsters wandering around. We've got to finish our blasting or we won't get paid. No amount of weirdness is going to change that. Oh, and tell me where that glowing rock you saw was when you get back. Who knows, might be worth something. Now that the lights are on, let's just go see if there's anything back up here. Gotta be thorough. There is not. The panel is lit. The open door button is glowing dimly. There's a good-sized crack in the floor with a small amount of light shining through. Look through the crack. Shapes form in the shadows below, and after a moment you hear footsteps approaching and people talking. First voice sounds nervous, young. I heard the runners escaped. You sure they're going to come this way? Second voice is older, confident. They have no choice. It's the only route they have access through. There's a pause and you hear the sound of a throat clearing. So, think we can stop them? Second voice is dismissive. With 2 whole strike teams already set in ambush, I don't see what chance they have. Well, you're the one who's going to have to explain to Audrey if they get past us. Which is why we're not going to screw it up, got it? As soon as any of these doors open, you shoot, got it? Okay, I got it. The glare from the lights of the floor below fade, and your eyes readjust to the room. This is a current model PDA, battered and a bit bloody. The screen is cracked and its buttons are non-functional. The last data entry on the screen is still on the screen. It appears to be an email to someone named Jerry. Can't believe they sent my squad down here to search those escaped fire drakes. No one's been in these tunnels since the Awakening. Who knows what the hell else is down here? Hope those Scorp sightings are just nerves. If a Drake and a Scorp see each other, they'll tear each other to pieces. Must be natural enemies or something. They seem to hate each other even more than they hate us. Don't want to have to report back to Ordrum with nothing but Drake pieces to show for our time. Danger. Active blasting area. Okay. Good. Well done, team. RFID ID card. There's a good amount of lights. Let's have a look through. Shapes form in the shadows below, but you can't make anything out. I did. It was a big old beastie. Section of floors B has a hole drilled into it, and you can see explosives within. Same there. You can hear one clear voice coming from below that speaks with authority. Alright everyone, stay sharp. The intruders have escaped. Team 1 is watching the main door, and we're to keep watch here. You see those doors open? You don't think, you just shoot. This door is locked by old RFID style reader and displays the text level 3 access only. It appears to be functional. Marvelous. It appears to be an old radio control box. It has a simple one-line LED readout and several plastic buttons with labels. Arm sequence commencing. Press arm explosives. Arm sequence commencing. Blast area, clear all personnel. Detonate. The hole is quite deep, and a direct drop from this height would certainly be fatal. There's no sign of movement below. Alright, well that's one of the squads cleared out. There's definitely a scorpion in here. Oh, 2 scorpions. Perfect. Goody goody. Good sized crack. Can't make anything out below, but I can see a big old basilisk. Okay, that's a transition area. There's a good sized crack. You can make out shapes in the shadows below. No, I can't. This is the only one that I can't make it out. Okay, right, that's the way that I came from, right? There's a big old scorpion around here. I didn't realize there was another one. Just keep plugging away. Wonderful. Mysterious rock. The rock glows with an otherworldly aura. Astral power. You open your third eye and view at the rock in astral space. It glows bright with elemental power of Earth. A shaman would be able to gain fetishes from a rock such as this. Probe the stone with your shamanic power. You extend a tendril of your aura into the astral plane and probe the rock, feeling for fracture points that may exist outside of the material plane. The rock glows warmly as you manage to separate 2 points from the Earth. The rest is infused with the elemental power of Earth. Doopy-doop-boop-boo. What's down here? More scorpions. Well, okay then. Let's go and proceed. I can't remember where we were proceeding to. Oh, here, wasn't it? Yeah. The vent is large enough for you to fit through. You could slide through a very steep metal duct. The experience looks to be more on the thrilling side than the fatal side. It's clearly a one-way trip. HVAC diagram. This is a diagram of the ventilation systems for this aging military bunker. Save an image. I added the ventilation map diagram. But what for? What good does it do? There are 4 numbered vents shown on the scan of the diagram, as well as an area marked intake bypass. This seems to be a reference diagram with no compass directions or other landmarks. Vent 1 is labelled firing range. Vent 1 is next to Vent 2, which is labelled bulk storage. Vent 3 is next to Vent 2, has the label CIC. Off a bit from the others is Vent 4, labelled administration. Intake bypass is square at the bottom of the diagram off by itself. Should we spend some karma as well? Let's give ourselves a shotty. Alright, off we go. Off we pop. This must be where we killed the first group. I just don't know where the second group is. Can't remember what it fucking looked like. And I would like to go there last, obviously, in the interest of exploring everywhere. HVAC controls. Next to some ancient but still functional ventilation intake fans, ventilation controls. There is a manual bypass. What does button 1 do? You hear an electric motor come to life somewhere, then quickly fall silent. You hear 2 light up. The air begins to stir, then develop into a stronger pull of air as it is sucked rapidly through the large circular vent. The light above number 2 is currently lit on the adjacent panel. Press button 3, you hear something. The air begins to stronger pull of air sucked through a large circular vent. The light above number 3 is currently... we'll come to that later. That's cheating. Not happy about that. So she got exploded by 20 HP, then immediately took an extra 1 HP from burning damage, and that means I couldn't heal for the 20. Had to heal for the 1. Bullshit. Alright then. Kablamo. Kablamo. Very good. The shelf is mostly bare, but there's a large metal canister with a yellowed label that catches your eye. Judging by the warning label, you think this container holds a very powerful nerve gas. Is this the storage area, maybe? Vent 1 is labelled firing range. Next to it is Vent 2 labelled bulk storage. Vent 3 has the label CIC. And then administration. That must be the... Oh, fuck it, let's just go. Oh no, this is the firing range. That was unfortunate. A grenade. We've got that. Okay, there's a beastie in there. Why would you do this? I actually will heal you. Because my attacks are a little bit shitty. In fact, I could use lightning, couldn't I? Jesus Christ. Right, very good. And then that leads into here, where everyone was dead. We have this. So we have, hang on. Vent 1 is firing range. That's firing range. Bulk storage is vent 2. So that is bulk storage. Or that's bulk storage maybe. Vent 3 is next to vent 2 and has CIC. That could be CIC. Or that could be CIC. I don't know what CIC stands for really. And then administration stands off to the side. Maybe it's administration. Just really curious to see if we can do anything with this canister. Push button 4. Puncture the nerve gas container and place it in the intake. The gas is quickly sucked into the vent. Right. No idea if that went into the right place, but let's see. That place is locked. It did. Nice, well done me. Supply locker rests on the ground. It's combination pad. I've got no idea. I have no idea what that would be. This chamber is equipped with a small emergency medical suite. The system appears to be designed to automatically treat major tissue damage in high trauma situations. The machine lights up as you approach, making a soft humming sound. A line of text appears on the unit's LCD screen. Boom Mona, emergency field trauma unit online. Greetings, trauma victim. Would you like to activate treatment protocols? View treatment history. Text scrolls, multiple third-degree burns, multiple third-degree burns, multiple second-degree burns, minor chemical burns, multiple third-degree burns. Okay, let's heal up. After several minutes of needle prods, sutures, and administration of unknown chemicals, your combat injuries are fully healed. Oh, that was nice. Cabinet is stocked with high-end medical kits. There are enough for one each. Pass them out. Are we at the end game or something? Because it's now it's letting me heal up and giving me a fuckload of stuff. Right, okay, let's go. Dragonfall. Okay. You exit the clean room to find yourself at the threshold of a vast underground chamber. If the abandoned facility that you just fought through was purgatory, then you now stand at the gateway to hell. The heat emanating from ahead hits you like a hammer. The smell of sulfur and ozone is enough to make your lunch want to find somewhere to hide. Above the noise created by the whir of turbines, you can hear the deep rumble of something feral waking up. Something very, very big. You check your weapons and step into the vast chamber. The scarred orc shouts at you from across the room. How the fuck are you still alive? And what do you think you're doing down here? You're about to commit an atrocity. You think I'm just going to scurry off and let you do it? No, seriously, how did you... His eyes glitter triumphant. Oh, I get it. You made a deal, didn't you? You made a deal with her. That bitch in the jar upstairs helped you, and in return, you're going to help her climb back into her meat body again, am I right? What did she promise you? Gold? Jewels? Eternal life? She offered all that stuff to me too, for decades. Isn't that nice for you? His deformed face twists into a vicious smile. Doesn't matter. With that monster's help, I'm going to change the world. At the very least, the dragons will die. And at most, who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. Oh, it isn't too late. We can still talk this out. You really think that? If you really think that, you haven't been paying attention. An ominous rumble fills the chamber. Slowly, the Firewing's body begins to shift. There is a sound like 100 fingernails digging into blackboards, the dragon's scales scraping across the floor. Hear that? That's the sound of change. Beautiful, isn't it? With an ear-splitting roar, the dragon's great bulk begins to rise. Waves of hot, fetid breath wash over you as she struggles against her chains. She's awake. The orc stares at the dragon's sinuous form with something close to awe. It's time. Right, let's do this. Matrix pump access. I don't have a decker, so I can't do that shit. Oh well. Stop missing at fucking 75% or whatever. Jesus Christ. Where did Executive Bodyguard come from? What am I supposed to be doing here anyway? That's what I'd really like to know. Is it this pump station? Use the pump station. Let's go see what this does. Panacea pump station. Panacea infusion sequence is locked. Disengage. Vent A safety protocol disengaged. Vent A is now unlocked for manual venting. And what does that do? Ah, I see. It's so mean. I'll kill you myself. Right, what's he got? Fucking hell, come on. I think we're okay. I would, however, very much like to start setting fire to some motherfuckers. What was this? Heals last wound taken. Cool, well done. Fuck's sake. Oh, come on, Igor. What's he got left? Can't really see. Good. Good to see that. Good to see that this increased accuracy helped out. Fuck's sake. Fuck off! You fucking miss constantly. Right, Jesus Christ. Two damage. Yeah, of course you missed. Why wouldn't you keep missing at 70%? Yeah, why fucking wouldn't you? Yeah, of course. It's unbelievable. It's actually unbelievable. 80%. Right, fucking hell. The burly orc's face, raw and slick with scar tissue, is contorted in a grimace of pain. You've seen this kind of wound before. He doesn't have long. Idiots. 40 years. 40 years and we finally had a chance to make a difference and you blew it. What was the point in any of this, Audrin? Why kill Vauclair? Wait, take his sidearm. Audrin's eyes go wide as you reach for his weapon. He tries to bite your hand away, but a wave of coughing sends him into a fit. A bloody mist fills the air. You level the weapon, and he thrashes around in panic. Tell me what the point of this was, Audrin. Convince me that any of this was worth it. He smirks through the pain, then coughs up a great wad of bloody phlegm. You're looking for my secret motivation? Like, maybe I was burned by a dragon as a kid, and now I want them all dead? Gonna have to disappoint you. He coughs again, writhing in agony on the floor. Then his eyes focus again, and he speaks. Vauclair was right. The worms, taking over the world. But they're just the latest in a long line to fuck us over. Corporations, politicians, dragons, all a big joke, with the rest of us the punchline. Another bloody cough. Sounds like he's struggling against a collapsed lung. World. Whole world is going to shit. We're on a runaway train to hell, and someone has to make it, jump the tracks. I was gonna... He tries to speak, but the only thing that pours from his mouth is blood, a wet whisper devoid of meaning. He lets out a final barking cough. A red mist sprays from his mouth and nostrils. His eyes go wide, and he struggles for breath. It doesn't come. The macabre wreck of his armored chest heaves once, twice, then goes still. He's dead. Okay, very good. Just out of curiosity, what's going on, giant dragon lady? Not a lot I can do with you. Dragon chamber operation control. Panacea has been taken offline. Infusion process aborted. Dragon is not infectious. Unlock the chamber's exit door. Action completed. Auxiliary door unlocked. Set the facility to self-destruct. Warning, this process will lock down all further terminal access. Are you sure you wish to proceed? Yes. As you're about to tap your finger on the key, you feel a hand clasp your shoulder. Hang on, that'd leave Furshwing, both the dragon and the woman, to burn to death. Is that really what you want? I think yes. Base destruction commencing, system offline. You punch the button, and alarm klaxons blare. An ominous rumbling sound fills the air, and the walls start to shake. That settles that. Come on, boss, let's get the hell out of here. Right behind you. That was an annoying sound, wasn't it? You step out of the van, climbing down into the tunnel leading back to your safe house. Just hours ago, you saved Berlin from fire and ash, from the would-be sacrifice of Dr. Adrian Vauclair. It feels strange now, returning in secret, in silence. The other residents of the Cruise Bazaar go about their business, unaware of what almost happened here tonight. It's finally over. Your team and your Kiers are safe once again. The team is waiting when you walk in. Their faces are haggard, their shoulders slumped. Was there a point to all this, Wolf? We lost Paul, lost Monica, the cruise bazaar, so many people dead. It was just supposed to be a simple job, remember? A milk run. Get into the estate, snatch some data, and get home in time for worm talk on the Trid. Yeah, it wasn't a milk run, but Vauclair's plan failed because of us. That's something. I get that, Wolf. I do. But that's not who I am. I'm a soldier. I take orders and I execute them. This whole thing about dragons taking over the world, the thought of them slowly hoarding everything, is too big to think about. We're street level. We run the shadows. That's it. Worrying about these sorts of issues is beyond our pay grade. That's what they want. That's what they need. The corps, the dragons, the politicians, everyone. They want us to think that we can't make a difference. They put effort, a lot of effort, into making us feel small, insignificant. But we're not. We had the power in our hands today. We had a choice and we made it. And because of that, the world's different. For good or for ill. That's right, for good or ill. We can't see the future. I don't think that anyone can. But the world is different now, and we're the ones who changed it. So did we win? I'll tell you what we did. We avenged Monica and Paul. That was what we set out to do, and we did it. You watch the team take this in. Iga nodding her agreement, Glory staring ahead, lost in thought, Dietrich frowning, eyeing the floor, Blitz fiddling with his deck and pretending not to understand. Iga breaks the silence. So now what? Monica's gone, Paul's gone. Do we keep running together, or is this the end of the road? Glory steps forward, her expression troubled. I'm afraid that I'm out, at least for a while. I have some personal business to attend to. There's a man that I need to find, a vicious, repulsive monster who needs to be brought to justice. Wolf knows what I'm talking about. I might be gone for a long time. For the time being, you should write me off. Maybe find someone to fill my shoes. But this place is my home, and you people are my family. I promise you, when the job's done, I'll come back to the Cruise Bazaar. I hope that you'll still have me. I'm proud of you, Glory. Hope you find what you're looking for. I will. And Wolf, thanks. I'll miss you, love. Be safe. Well, I'm in. I'm getting kind of old for a Shadowrunner, but I'd rather die in the shadows with you people than live. I don't know. I thought I had something going on. Whatever. I thought I had something going there. Whatever. The point is, I'm in. That was beautiful, man. Iga turns to you. So, Wolf, you're going to stick around the Cruise Bazaar and keep running the shadows with me? You've done a hell of a job. I'd be happy to follow your lead. If it means picking up where Monica left off and keeping the Cruise Bazaar safe, I'm in too. Makes sense to me. Iga looks around, realizes she forgot Blitz. What about you, Blitz? What about me? Blitz's expression is sober. I mean, sure, whatever. I got nowhere else to go, and no one to give a shit about me. Why not hang around with insane dragons, assholes, toting enormous machine guns, and devil dogs that hold my leg when no one's looking? Could be fun, right? So count me in, I guess. Iga snorts a laugh, then she's back to business. Before I forget, the Turkish coffee guy sent one of his street rats over before you got here. Said he wants to talk to you about something. Thanks. I'm going to see what's going on in the Cruise Bazaar. I'll stop by the coffee shop on my way. Well, boss, we went up against a dragon and lived. I guess that's a win in my book. Couldn't have put it better myself. So, any big plans looming on the horizon? New clients you're thinking of going after, maybe? We'll worry about that tomorrow. Tonight we celebrate. He takes a swig from the flask. You're right, boss. Of course you're right. Oh, and Wolf, I meant to say that I meant what I said earlier. From this point on, wherever this team goes, I'll follow. Wouldn't have it any other way. Hey, Chief. That was a hell of a thing, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. I'm glad to hear that you'll be staying on with the team. Well, it's not like I'm doing much else. The whole Emily thing still stings, Chief. Sort of took the wind out of my sails. They won't stay deflated for long, I'm sure. Maybe I could introduce you to some people. I make a pretty good wingman. He offers you a tentative smile. Maybe, Chief, but not right now. For the time being, I think I need some me time. Sure. Oh, and Blitz, you've done a great job all around. Thanks, Chief. You too. Wolf, I'll admit it. You did a hell of a job back there. I couldn't have done it better. You did it on fine. but it was my job to lead the team, so I did it. She nods appreciatively. That's the right attitude. Anyway, I'll be looking forward to the next run. Just do me a favor. Make sure that the client is properly vetted, and for the love of God, verify that the job has nothing to do with dragons. Done and done. Good man. Until next time. Glory looks up from her preparation at the sound of your approach. She offers you a slight smile. Wolf, you got us through the night alive. Well done. You're running off to find Harrow, I take it. That's right. He's already gotten enough of a head start on me. Wherever he's got off to, it'll only get worse the longer I wait. So I'm headed out after him, and I'm leaving tonight. I'll keep a seat warm in the safe house for you. Shall I say I'll go? Where should we start looking? She smiles at you, her eyes are sad. We shouldn't. What? I'll track Harrow down. Myself, and the spirit that's bound to me. But as for you, I can't have you coming with me, Wolf. Not this time. Your place is here. With all due respect, Glory, I'm the leader of this team. I'm the one who will decide whether I can spare the time to help you or not. You just said it yourself. You lead the team. They look to you for guidance and leadership and employment. You're the one who puts food on the tables. You have a responsibility to them. They need you more than I do. Tracking Harrow down isn't going to be quick or easy. It could take years. You, my friend, are a victim of your own success. You become too important to this team, to the Cruise Bazaar, to up and disappear. The heart of Fuestel and I share a common goal. And common responsibility. We have to deal with Harrow. It's on us to stop him. But you, Wolf, your responsibilities are here, and I can't let you walk away from them. You're right. Harrow's your responsibility and this place is mine. I'm glad that we're agreed, and Wolf, I knew that you'd choose the right thing to do. So will we see you again after you've dealt with Harrow? You can bet on it. You haven't seen the last of me, Wolf. That's a promise. I can't say how long it'll take, but I will come back to the Cruise Bazaar, to this team. We'll be waiting. Good hunting, Glory. Thanks, Wolf, for everything. Right. One final trip around the Cruise Bazaar, it looks like. Unless some other shit goes down and we've got more missions. Seeing your return, Alexei Lane rises to his artificial feet, using his crutch to bring himself to his full troll height. Then he offers you a handshake. Live to fight another day? Mission accomplished, Colonel. Those that attack the Cruise Bazaar won't be troubling us anymore. Just don't salute me, pup. Lane shuffles forward, coming so close that the smell of leather and machine oil are almost overpowering. He lowers his voice, marking his words for you alone. I had my doubts about you, as I'm sure a lot of people had, but you did right by this place, and by her. The place may never be the same without Monica, but we'll carry on. Indeed we will. The old troll claps you on the shoulder and then steps back. So what's next for you then? Moving on? Not a chance. Gotta keep you people out of trouble. We'd be lucky to have you stay on, and when the time comes, the Cruise Bazaar's a wonderful place for an old soldier to hang their hat. Take it from me. But whatever you decide, we'll understand, and you'll always have our thanks. That's good. Let's go see if Lucky Strike will finally talk to me. If she says, no offense, but I'm busy. Fuck you. Fuck you. Simi Kim is still here, looking more alert than ever. Her chipjack is conspicuously empty for a change. She even smiles when she sees you. You're back. People were saying you were going off to do something dangerous, or more dangerous than usual, I guess. They weren't sure you'd live through it, or if you'd come back even if you did. But I knew you'd be back. Of course I'm back. This is home. And it should be safe again. I do feel safer, and I feel better thanks to you. The truth is, the Cruise Bazaar is better with you here, and everyone in it is better. I've stopped with the Sems, trying to get clean. She shows you the empty socket in case you hadn't noticed. It's hard, but it gets easier if I'm keeping busy, and I'm trying to keep real busy. I'm proud of you, Kim. Me too. I can't even talk to him anymore, fucking hell. He really doesn't give a shit. What about, all the shopkeepers are gone. What the fuck? And he doesn't want to talk to me either. What the fuck? Oh, here's Algernon. Algernon appears to be waiting for you, though his expression is difficult to decipher. Behold the Dragon Slayer. Do not mock the elf Algernon Half-Dream, but nor should you praise him either. For good or ill, the cycle of a great worm has ended. Never again will she walk upon this earth, nor soar over its mountains. This day is full of portent. What do you mean, portent? It appears to look through you, past you. When a dragon falls, the sound resonates across time and space. The ramifications of the Great Worm's death shall be felt. There will be a reckoning. Am I in trouble? Not this you, and not today. Her expression slackens and becomes dreamy. Within 3 cycles, what the world has lost, it shall rue. But the ice storm will come, the codex will be broken, and woe to the dancer. This I prophesy. Algernon stares at her, lost in thought. Finally he speaks. We must be going, and soon. What the hell's going on? Why are you leaving? I have business that has become urgent. It will not be urgent until tomorrow, Half-Dream. You have time to pack up your wares. There is more to it than that, woman, and you know it. He bows to you with a flourish. Goodbye, Wolf. We will meet again, I think, though not for a long, long time. Okay. And then she doesn't talk to me either. Okay. That was a very quick run around the Cruise Bazaar. How do, Altug? Ah, how very propitious. Propitious, is that a word? It is, that we may speak again, O Master of Mayhem. I have a proposal for you that could be most lucrative for both of us, Effendim. Most lucrative. Fortune will surely smile upon our blessed partnership, if you will only accept. I'm listening, O Master of Hyperbole. With the passing of Herr Amsel, may God bestow his mercy on him, you find yourself without a fixer. I wish to offer my services to you in this regard. You'll find that Altug Bukgazi is a most connected and business-savvy partner. Sounds like a match made in heaven. How do we start? I have already found a potential client, O Blessed One. A most prosperous one, with deep pockets. He is eager to meet you. When you are ready, take the U-Bahn to Brandenburger Tor. He will meet you there. Brandenburger Tor. Got it. As soon as I finish up here, I'll go meet him. Should I talk to him about something else? Nope. Okay, maybe there is another mission. And here's me thinking I was done. Who's that? It's obviously a bad guy. The train car is empty except for the man in the immaculately tailored Italian suit. You notice him watching you for several minutes while the train rumbles its way towards Brandenburger Tor. Finally, he speaks. The stranger's words come out slowly in a deep, melodious tone that's easy to hear despite the noise of the train. He takes his time, accentuating each word, relishing each vowel and each consonant, tasting them as if they were a delicacy. Hello. I assume that the business with Dr. Vauclair is concluded, yes? Do I know you, friend? No, but you are about to. The man inclines his head, slight in introduction. Hans Breckhaus. I represent an interested party, someone who wishes to know about your encounter with Dr. Vauclair. Is he a dragon? Like, I wonder if in Shadowrun dragons can turn into people. Does this interested party understand that information is a commodity? Breckhaus continues. My employer also wishes to hear about Lady Furschwing, a fascinating creature, so unlike her brothers and sisters. It is a pity that she has passed from this world. She was a magnificent creature, and the world is diminished by her passing. I'm sure you would agree. Dragons are no different from anyone else. There are those who take and those who get taken. A dragon is just another taker. He purses his lips, considers. Just another taker. Interesting. Dragons take, this is undeniable, but they cannot be considered just another taker as you put it. They are the ultimate takers. It is their reason for existence. The great dragons are very old and very powerful and very, very cunning. A cunning unknowable to you. You look at a moth and barely perceive sentience. You glance its way, amused as it flutters towards a bright light in a vain attempt to... what? To enter? To draw strength? To burn? It doesn't know. Its epic struggle is barely 1/100th of your lifespan. The sum total of its existence is nothing against the vast scale of your struggles, your hopes, your dreams, which it could not fathom in 1,000 years. Poor moth. He leans forward. You will live and die between the beats of a dragon's heart, my friend. What hope do you have of understanding them? None. Furschwing massacred thousands, and a stranger on a train calls her fascinating. Obviously, this is all beyond my comprehension. He leans back again. Do not choose ignorance, Shadowrunner. It does not become you, nor does sarcasm. The Lady Furschwing was fascinating because she was different. My Lady Furschwing was a nurturer, a caregiver, rare among her kind. Where her brothers and sisters saw the world as a prize to be won, she saw it as a garden to be tended. Can you imagine? For world upon world, the great dragon Furschwing brought wisdom and succor to countless souls, and she was loved for it, exalted, a goddess. When she awoke from her long slumber in 2012 and saw what the world had become, what meta-humanity had done to the garden she had tended for great ages, she struck. Struck with the rage, regret, frustration and anguish of a mother whose children had played with fire and burned the house down, killing themselves in the blaze. She unleashed fire and death through her tears. And now she is gone. The sixth world was her last. You seem to know a lot about dragons, Hans. Think your employer wants you telling me all this? I'm sure of it. You may consider this conversation an employment interview for a very influential client, one who pays extraordinarily well. Now listen. The man removes his hands from his knees and folds them on his lap. I tell you all of this so that you have context, perspective. Before I ask you this next question, Shadowrunner, if Dr. Vauclair's weapon had not required dragonfire, if it had been capable of destroying every dragon on Earth without touching a hair on humanity's head, would you have used it? No. Wiping out an entire species is wrong. Monochromatic thinking, but I appreciate a career criminal's attempt at morality. Of course, you feel that wiping out a species is wrong. The feeling is a subtle but ingrained defense mechanism that should be cherished. One day, it may be meta-humanity poised for extermination. Well, onto the business at hand. My employer wishes to secure your team's services for a series of operations that will likely require the remainder of 2054. Sounds interesting. Who's the boss? The boss is the great dragon Wolfulv. He is sometimes referred to as the Golden Worm. Perhaps you've heard of him. What makes you think I'm going to deal with a dragon? His eyes glint. Because you have already been working for him for some time now, mein Herr. Or did you think Green Winters found the Harfold Manor on his own? If your boss was behind the whole thing, then he really backed the wrong horse. Something tells me he didn't want the Firewing dead. Perhaps. One might assume that the outcome could have been better suited to his interests. But then again, perhaps not. You are not in a position to know. I'll take your word for it. That would be wise of you. The rattle of wheels on track give way to a shimmying screech. Gradually, the train begins to slow. He glances up at the U-Bahn map on the wall and smiles. Ah, this is my stop. Coming. Well, what do you know? Looks like this is my stop too. The train comes to a halt and the doors open. Breckhouse stands, brushes off his Italian suit and exits without another word. As you turn to follow, your eye catches an advertisement for Worm Talk above the subway car door. Breckhouse glances back at you from the platform, the light from the car reflecting yellow in his gaze. You step out of the subway car and follow him up the stairs and into the Berlin night, into the shadows. Berlin Newsfax contains just one report of a large-scale explosion in the countryside east of Berlin. An abandoned castle is reportedly consumed in a massive fireball that shakes the countryside and leaves a crater 60 feet deep. A natural gas leak is suspected, and the location is soon cordoned off by unidentified corporate forces. This news is eclipsed when Seda Krupp announces its acquisition of Arianespace, the last remaining arm of the European space program. The Flux State's anarchist rule remains until 2055, when joint corporate forces, acting with the support of the German government, invade the city. It's widely known that the Great Dragon Lofwyr is responsible for orchestrating this action. After weeks of fighting, the surviving anarchists are forced to retreat to the eastern part of the city. A truce is signed in 2060 and Berlin is again divided by a wall. The Great Dragon Dunkel Zahn is elected President of the United Canadian and American States in 2057. He is promptly assassinated as he leaves an inauguration party at the Watergate Hotel while in human form. Popular opinion is that another great dragon is responsible, as only a dragon can kill a dragon, but those in the shadows hint that an act of powerful blood magic is the cause. Memories of Fwurschwing and of the Dragonfall fade further into obscurity, replaced by the media's fascination with the dating habits of the latest Simpsons stars. The name of Dr. Adrian Vauclair has since been lost to the shadows. Nice! Well, that was fun. That was very fun. I think the story was a lot better than the first game. Though apparently, I read that this was actually like an add-on, like a DLC or an expansion to the first game, Shadowrun Returns, rather than like a new game in and of itself. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing a mage. I'm not sure if I would play a mage for Hong Kong when I get around to doing that. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to let the credits roll before I end the stream, because obviously, let's pay some appreciation to the people that made the game, huh? And after that, I'm going to end. Thank you very much for watching. It's been wonderful having you. This was Shadowrun Dragonfall. I have been Wolfulv, and it has been my honor. I will catch you later, guys. Thanks very much.